Hello. Greetings, and welcome to Homestuck Squared. We are back. This is the first October update. Let me just... Okay, just give a little ping. Hello, Corencio, welcome. And welcome anyone doing anonymously. Let me get this text off the screen. Just had to pop out a little poke in the Discord server because the bot is not working correctly. We had issues with that before, and I feel like the longer a bot is in use, the longer it takes to send out a stream notification, so that's interesting. But, anyway, other than this update happening, there isn't really community news to go over, so let's just hop right on in. This is the last page that we left off on. And this next update, I'm starting us here instead of I usually start us in the first page of the next update, but this was another chapter continuation. This was not a separate chapter. So we cut away from the funeral scene we left off at to Vriska and Vriska, who we kind of lost track of for a bit because John and Harry Anderson were like, yeah, go get a fucking snack. And they were like, nope, bye. And here they are in the middle of the woods, so it would seem. Vriska Miriam Lalonde, recently Rissy, and potentially you are so grounded you are never leaving the house again, isn't what's commonly referred to as an outside girl. She likes grass. It's fine to look at, and so are trees, as long as they're somewhere off in the distance, swaying gently in the breeze. Trampling through them is not on the list of acceptable tree activities. Rissy is already sweaty and dirt-streaked, and there's probably like 5 gnats trying to drink her eye fluids. At this rate, she almost envies Tavros his role as Betterwitch bait. Sure, he has to pretend to be threatened by Rissy's mom, which is dumb as hell and also very embarrassing, but at least his eye fluids are safe. Yes, the Vriskas have abandoned whatever plan they had put together for the collective group of them. Hey, can you slow down a little? I have to run over shrubs and shit. I can't fly. And whose fault is that? My shitty biology, I guess. Sorry, not all of us have scrub sessions to make ourselves immortal. Well, we'll take care of that. Don't even worry about it. Oh boy. Well, I wish. Miss Roxy was talking about coming up with some sort of autonomous flying device, but it got shot down by the council. What the fuck is that? A governing body, sort of? I'm not actually sure how much power they have anymore, what with the Betterwitch seizing control of everything. But they were really against anybody who wasn't a creator being able to fly, since it's sort of a religious thing. Oh. Well, that's fucking stupid? What good is a religion that stops your society from being able to advance? How could John even let this happen? Ugh, don't answer that. I know it's because he spent sweeps being a sweaty loser. But anyway, that wasn't what I meant. Sure, you could get a fucking jetpack or whatever, but ultimately, that isn't going to cut it. I had rocket boots that I used at the beginning of my session. Who didn't? That's Wiggler shit. You can't start to rely on tech. It breaks, and enemies can sabotage it. Really, we have to get you a god tier. That's pretty much the only solution at this point. Ideally, we'd go back to when you were a Wiggler and start your training right away, but that's not exactly an option, so god tier it is. Is that even possible outside of the game? Nope, but we don't have to worry about that once we get back into Scrub. What? we have to start this shit over again. You all let it get you have all let it get so out of hand that there's really nothing to do besides a hard reset. Oh. How are you going to do that? I've got a plan. Look, up ahead. The plan is still happening. They were just bored. Oh yeah, no, they've just abandoned the specific rules that they were given. The general rest of the plan is still happening. But yeah, there are a few signs pointing to new Spurb session. Not just in meat. I've seen some predictions that the meat candy distinction is eventually not going to mean anything and they will converge in one plot. Which, yeah, that's valid. I don't like this. But of course, fucking Vriska has been in this universe for like 2 weeks, ish, I think, at this point, and has already decided that she is correct about everything, and if she thinks that they need to hard reset and just destroy all of it, then she is obviously right, and that's exactly what needs to happen. Oh, hi, Max. This reality sucks. I'm making a new one. Yeah, oh my god. I've actually seen a couple people who are kind of, like, agreeing with Vriska, but, like, I don't. I think there are other better ways to fix this, aside from blowing everything up, basically. And yeah, like, yeah, one of the biggest problems was one of the original players. I mean, like, I think I have likely mentioned this before. I think Jane her character could move in a different direction, given different circumstances, different journey, etc. But yeah, this, this is making me think of, I'm thinking of right now, there's the chapter in Late Candy Epilogues, where John is talking to Rose. They're in the middle of a battlefield and lamenting the fact that, like, it's his fault that all this screwed up and all of this other stuff. And Rose is like, John, shut up. Like, John, this is a hot mess of a situation, but, like, I'm happy. I love my wife. I love our daughter. Like, it just made me think about that conversation. Those circumstances are probably all in the past now. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, is that, like, it would require some amount of turning back all of this to completely erase these developments for Jane. But I really don't think that blowing it all up is the answer. I also don't think that another scrub or spurb session is the answer, because, like, what is, okay, I'm trying to organize my thoughts here. Like, the original sessions, plural, were horrifically traumatizing. And I don't understand the purpose of being, like, saying, for example, that Vriska needs to go god tier. Like, why? Like, this came in the first place from, the comment about, hey, not everybody can fly. And she's like, well, that's not my fault. But is she trying to say that Vriska being able to fly would be important for them to... Or maybe that was just the trigger for what she was already thinking about the scrub session. I don't know. But, none of this occurs to me as being the correct solution, basically, is the gist of what I'm getting at. Yeah. I don't... I think in particular, there's a line about... Where was it? About training. Yeah. This whole thing about ideally we'd go back to when you were regular and start your training right away, but that's not exactly an option. That gives me big bro vibes, and I fucking hate it. Yeah, I think those are kind of the major things that jumped out at me in this conversation. I think it's a bad idea. Why are you traumatizing everyone? There are much better solutions for this. You sound like bro. Big yikes. Anyway. What? A scrub set? What? A scrub session? What? No, what the fuck? This is the perfect spot for a fight. An ambush point. Huh? Don't worry about it. That's good. That's what we're looking for. Who are we ambushing? Don't be stupid. We're the ones being ambushed. Huh? I love this little Vriska in the back here. I think that's a wonderful little Vriska. Just as an aside. This is such a good fucking Vriska, though. Your face is priceless. This is actually way more fun than I thought it would be. Bringing around a younger, dumber me. I think we're basically the same age. Whatever. Yeah, they are basically the same age. Really feels like that's just about Vriska. She really thrives in Scrub, and she hates seeing a version of herself that she thinks is weaker. That's true. That could definitely be a part of what's playing into her kind of thinking of this as being a good idea. My most stupid clone in danger. I know, poor Vriska. But yeah, her reflecting on herself, because this version of Vriska, it was, I'm gonna guess 3-ish weeks ago for her, that she was screaming at and chewing out parentheses Vriska. So that's, she's still within that approximate bubble of character development. So, yeah, not a fan of seeing a version of herself being so much weaker than her. And speaking of skills and stuff as well, I'm losing my train of thought. Where did it go? Don't leave me. Right. It could be at this point that Spurb and alternating brutality is so much of what Vriska knows that she probably doesn't really know how to exist in a universe or in a setting that doesn't have those kinds of major pressures. So that's where her mentality points to as a solution, as I'm good at dealing with this, so let's do this again. I think may also be a factor in her leaning so heavily on the scrub session as well. And so they walked themselves, Vriska deliberately walked the two of them into this big opening for a Crocker Corp ambush. So these are all like identical looking Crocker Corp people with guns. So that's concerning. What is... Okay, so Versi pulled out... Right, no, we saw Harry Anderson allocate a Strive Specibus, but we never really got confirmation of Versi's, right? I don't think that was mentioned earlier. Sounds a lot like Dirk, really. Yes! Right! That was another interpretation that I saw in a few places. That she is sounding a lot like the Candy Universe's Dirk, in that mentality of like, this was a disaster, let's scrap it all and try again. She's got slightly different motivations than him, but like the end goal of we need to create another Spurb session because this is a disaster, is the vibe. She may not even have one. Yeah, that's true. This could just be something that Versi has. I'm pretty sure she does have one, though, because she grew up under Rose and Kanaya, who were at the head of a rebellion. I think I think she's mentioned before having some like minor forms of combat training for self-defense. But yeah, this is like the two objects connected by a string make me think like nunchuck kind, but alchemized with the dice. You like the copy paste goons in the background? Oh yeah, no, they're funky little fellows. they're evil funky little fellows, but I think Dirk's motivation is just people need something to strive for, but yeah. Maybe it's been too long since we've had a Dirk chapter. Maybe I'm not remembering Dirk's motivations correctly. But yeah. Dirk's motivation is to continue the story. Oh, right. Dots are connecting. My brain is remembering more things. The connection between Dirk saying everyone needs something to strive for in a story, so we need to keep the story going, and Vriska is striving for narrative relevance. Because if the story doesn't keep going, then there's no space for her to be narratively relevant on. Dice chunks, yeah. Bolo kind? Yeah, maybe. What's Callie's goal? Which Callie? I'm guessing you mean alt Callie, because the Callie we know and love has not been the same since alt Callie entered the picture. Callie's goal. I mean, she was pretty explicit about it at one point, but yeah, I think Callie's goal at the moment is primarily to stop Dirk. Maybe like restore free will or something? You know, I don't actually remember. I don't actually recall at this point in time. I should look into that at some point because I don't remember. But I know for sure, like, in terms of, like, a concrete physical goal, stop Dirk. In terms of her, like, the thematic wise and such, I'm a little murky on that. Oh, fuck. Finally! Oh my, they are surrounded. And we zoom out to see there's actually like smoke coming up from a variety of different like it looks like Crocker Corp has started moving into bombing in neighborhoods. Yes, the ominous spork. Yeah, I was surprised by the number of spots coming up here, like a bomb's just been dropped on them. Yeah. So. Yes, and John has now exited the premises to go look for the two of them. Vriska's! Where are... Oh, fuck. Yes, the wreckage from Vriska's little panic throwing shit at the media earlier is still out front of their house. Yes, and here is... I believe this is the bell tower. We see the ship is traveling through town, traveling past. Here is the church. Up in flames. To John's house. And from the fuse, we can tell that this is another bomb. Oh. God. Like, I don't even know what to say with this panel. It just, like, when I first read this update, I, like, audibly gasped. And, like, I felt this, like, in my chest. And that is that. Yeah, it's just, oh, it's fucking heartbreaking. Especially because, like, before this, just, like, the enthusiasm that John felt about all of this. I was so excited to finally be back in the action, and and then, oh. And, you know, to not even bother, like, he's the fucking wind god, and absolutely could have put out those flames like that, but to not even bother, to just be so completely destroyed by it, to just fucking sit and that was one of the reasons, right, that he was claiming that he spent so many years in that house and not really interacting with everyone else. He was still kind of clinging to what little of before the game was left, because that was his original fucking house. That was the house from his fucking neighborhood in Washington. The same one he grew up in, that his dad lived in, that still had, you know, some of his silly Harlequin figures, that still had all of their memories together, all the old photos in the walls, all these things that can't be replaced. And it's gone. Yeah, just a lot of sad faces in chat. I don't know what else to add to this. It's just fucking heartbreaking. And yeah, they seem to be roughly following a schedule of like the 15th and the end of the month being when they do updates. So I'm gonna guess we'll get one near Halloween time, our next update in this. But God, I get the feeling we spent enough time with candy now. The next one's gonna be meat, which is simultaneously exciting and hellish, because things in candy are going places, and things in meat have not been moving super fast. But maybe the next one will be a big leap. Oh. Yeah. Shorter update, but like hard hitting, and the art is phenomenal. Jesus fucking hell. Like, these panels are so gut wrenching, but the composition, the fucking color theory, the colors and shit. Oh, they're so good. If he was on top of his wind powers, he would have deflected the bomb. He was just trying to live a quiet life in his little house. Yeah, I mean, he could have snapped it right out of the air, but I think, yeah, frozen in shock fits it. And also, I think maybe he didn't know that's what it was, because it didn't look like a traditional bomb. Like, from standing down on the ground, how, like, could he have possibly seen the picture on the side? Because we got to see that nice little spork with a fuse at the end, but could he have seen that? Like, how would he have known that's what it was, right? Other than just knowing it was probably bad news because it was coming from a Crocker Corp ship. But, yeah, I mean, he was just frantically searching for the Vriskas, who he still doesn't know where they are. And, Harry Anderson. Harry Anderson is probably still in his house. yeah, I'm just glad that nobody was in this house when they blew it up. But oh yeah, but that was the other thing that, you know, he just sits down on the ground like, shit. That bomb, the order to drop that bomb was given by his ecto mom, his nana in his universe, who he knew and was friends with, and his family. And, you know, the realization that, like, that intention could have been bomb to kill because they didn't seem to be interested in checking whether or not anybody was in there. Which makes me worried that Harry Anderson still chilling in Roxy's place is gonna be next. I don't think that they'll kill him off. But, if they are targeting houses of creators, maybe, but it looks like only the 25th or so bomb they dropped in this neighborhood. That's true. We were remarking about the smoke coming up from the wide shot earlier. Yeah, just shock and dismay seems to be the most plausible reason that he didn't whip some things around, because he wasn't prepared for running into that exactly. Yeah, and we still don't know. We saw the front of the church at this point. It's kind of hard to tell if they were like if there was still a crowd in front, or if they had dispersed by the time that John flew by there with the other ship. Not be surprised if they did kill him off. Pretty sure he's the odd name out here. Oh, who? Do you mean just, like, generally the writers, or, like, specific characters? Because I don't think that they'll kill John off. Writers, that's what I was saying. I mean, well, I was talking about Jane bombing the house. So it could be, like, Jane specifically. But yeah, I don't think that the writers will kill off. I mean, yeah, I guess it wouldn't be entirely out of, or entirely unexpected, but I don't think that they'll do that to any of the Omega kids without a back-to-life backup plan. At least not this early in the story. We're only on page, like, 360. Oh, which reminds me, I'm talking about the updates coming out later this month. 10/25. Duh. 10/25. We're approaching the 1-year anniversary of Homestuck Squared. As well as the holy crap 9-year anniversary of Cascade. After this, I'm expecting John to enter the Avatar state. Yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised. You mentioned him entering the Avatar state. That makes me think of in Candy when he tried to, like, rescue Tavros. And how that whole scene went down. But yeah, 10/25. The next update is almost, you know, almost guaranteed. I cannot say guaranteed because maybe they'll need some more time or whatever. Almost guaranteed to be on 10/25. So that'll be the 1-year anniversary. That'll be Cascade Day. The 21st fun fact, which I think I know that I mentioned before, the 21st is a 3-year anniversary of me doing streamy things. That's also neat. October is an interesting month. Yeah, this was kind of a short update. We're only like 40 minutes in, and the last like 10 minutes was just like talking about it. Lots of heart-wrenching art. Yeah, a lot of like textless panels. Oh, there's Shrek and Sonic. Yes. Thank you, Unknown Artistico, and also welcome. The other characters barely make it into their new scrub session as John wipes everything out with a planet-sized hurricane. Ooh. Interesting theory. Yes, I did see. What did I see? Where was it? Yeah, it was planet-wide hurricane caused by John, similar to on Lois when he played the organ? I think that was when he played the organ and the whole planet was surrounded by wind. He finally got rid of the clouds that were holding the fireflies down. That was the organ. So the salamanders, that would be nothing new to the salamanders, but like everybody else, that would be a wild and very new experience. Also would be interesting given the context of this being a whole planet Earth, much bigger, and also a different just like overall environment and climate than Lois. My toes. Yeah. Oh, we still have a bonus update to look forward to this month. The bonus update for the Patreon has not come out for October as of yet. I think. I'm pretty sure that's correct. But yeah. I think that's about it. This was kind of a short one. I don't know. I considered pulling something else out to like keep the stream going late today, but it's feeling like the kind of day where I'm just in a place where I'm okay with not going a full 2 hours. Really hungry right now, actually. So I'm thinking more like after stream today, it's gonna be soup time. But yeah, I know usually these Homestuck Squared ones are shorter streams, so I'm gonna try and build a little repertoire of things you can do post squared chapters that are just kind of short, sweet, one-off little things. Maybe like a just chat time or whatever. But right now, I'm hungry. Yeah, soup. Gonna make some fucking egg drop soup with some noodles. Yeah, so yeah, well in that case we'll try and I'll kindly request that we not do the clown gun imagery in the chat in future. Okay. That is today, I suppose. We're gonna call it early. We're gonna soup it up. And, yeah, tomorrow, Homestuck reread. It's happening. Also, tomorrow, regular Homestuck reread is resuming. We are like a third of the way through Act 5, Act 2, I think. And next Wednesday, we are returning to Arcade Spirits. Sorry, I'm trying to I'm like a little bit zoned out. I'm like, okay, what's happening? The streaming schedule? Yes. Homestuck Squared and Arcade and the Homestuck reread. Ugh, I'm looking at the screen going Homestuck Squared, but no, Homestuck reread tomorrow. Arcade Spirits on Wednesday. Enjoyable game. We just got up to a really strange segment at the end of the last stream. Got kind of like sucked into a video game trying to make us solve our life problems or something. It's interesting. It's interesting. But yes, thanks for coming out, Exceptional Potato. Little game called Polybius. Yes. Indeed. So, lots of fun stuff on the docket. Next weekend will be double Homestuck read as well. I am going to go have something to eat. I hope that you all have a lovely, splendid little rest of your day, whatever you may be getting up to. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you all enjoyed this short little update. And, yes. See you around and good night.